room, so she's not going to
Of course they
interrupt.
are. Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is the Cindy and Char's B2 podcast, where we were born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, and influenced by the 90s. I am Cindy.
And I am Char.
And we're here
I can't ever just say my name. I can't ever just say, and I'm Char.
It's okay.
It's because my name is one syllable and it sounds stupid. It's just Char. It's like boring, like bleh. Char.
No,
bleh.
it's not boring. Char can never be boring. If anyone doesn't know her personally,
Char is not boring, but my name is kind of just like nah.
No.
Anyways.
Sorry, I had the door shut. My cat's just knocked it open.
Okay, I was just saying your cat came in ahead of time, so she didn't make her grand entrance. But she's like, oh wait, no, I do need to let everybody know I'm here. So
yes, both of them.
I used to have a cat that would jump up on because I had they weren't door knobs, they were handles, and she would jump up and hang on it and kick the door open if it was shut.
Nice. Anyways. Was that Hannah?
Yeah, the one and only cat I've ever had that I will. She's the reason I'll never own a cat again. But anyways.
Okay, I am really excited about my drinks tonight. I got some new ones.
I have two.
I also have two. And I know what they are because I picked them out.
Okay.
So I have a tall can, and then I have a huge can.
Oh, okay.
So which one should I try first?
Well, you know what I say, small things.
Okay.
Great things come in small packages, so go with the small one first.
Well, let me just show you what it is because I already know. So
okay,
I've never tried it before, but I drink those Malibu splashes. Those are my favorite. Mm-hmm, this is from Malibu, but it's called a Malibu cocktail, and this one is a pina colada.
So I've had a Malibu canned drink, but now that you've had two different ones, I don't know which one I've had.
So the splash this is a pre-mixed cocktail and it's 7%.
Oh, okay.
The other one I had, I don't know, it's like 5 or something. Okay, so this is actually made with, it's a pina colada and it's made with white rum and liqueur.
Ooh.
I know, I'm hoping it's good. I just hope anyway.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Are you going to smell?
It smells so good. If it
Let me smell. Oh, you're right. It smells delicious.
Yeah.
Is that delicious? What does it taste like?
It's not creamy like a pina colada would normally be. It's clear or whatever.
Okay.
It tastes like coconut. I mean, it's delicious with a little boozy, but not bad. But it's 7%, which is, a little misleading.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm very happy with that one.
Okay. Ooh, I'm going to have to look for those and try those because that sounds right up my alley. Is it carbonated?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so. But... No, because it's got rum in it and stuff. So I think, and liqueur. Okay. So it's delicious though. And it came in there's a pack of different ones. So I'll have other ones to try too. Ooh. This one is a blast from the past because I used to drink this, but it came in a hard version. Arizona green tea, but isn't that so exciting?
I don't think I've ever seen those.
I had never seen it before either. So it's the Arizona hard real brewed green tea with ginseng and honey, which is
we used to drink those Arizonas all the time.
Yeah, but it's a premium spiked beverage and it's a malt beverage.
Okay.
And it's 5%. And it's humongous. It's a big can, so.
Okay. Maybe I've seen those and I just thought it was Arizona tea. So I was like, meh. Oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, wait. I don't know if it's because of the flavor I had from the coconut before.
Okay.
I think it's the bitterness of the green tea that I'm getting.
Uh-huh.
It tastes good. I think it's just because I had that and it was so sweet, the coconut.
Right.
And now it's a little bit bitter, but.
What's the ABV on that Arizona one?
5%.
Oh, okay. That's still decent. Yeah, I've decided that Char, after watching the last podcast, Char can no longer drink 2 high ABV drinks during our 1 hour record. I think it was pretty obvious that I was a little tipsy by the end of the last podcast.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm like, 2, and also I have to make sure that I eat something before we start recording because we usually will drink 2 drinks.
Yeah.
And we're usually only, record. I mean, sometimes we'll have, a conversation before the record, maybe 30 minutes or so, but it's a short amount of time to have 2
it is, yeah,
high ABV drinks with nothing in your stomach. And so, but it made for great content because I was laughing hysterically at our last podcast. So anyways, okay. So are you done with your
I am drinks? Done with my 2. Let's see what you got.
Okay. So what's really funny, Cindy, is I have a tall boy one and a slim one also.
Okay, let's see.
We didn't even plan this out. I think last week we had like the same thing too. Okay.
Yeah, we did.
So one I've never heard of. So I did the same thing as you. I went to Total Wine and I just perused all the aisles and I'm like, I just want to try stuff that I've never tried before. And I have noticed that pre-mixed drinks in cans or bottles is like a new thing now. Well, not new thing, but it's becoming more and more popular.
Okay.
There's lots to pick. So this first one I am so excited about, and you might not be able to see it. Well, maybe.
No. Oh. Sparkling bourbon?
Yeah.
What?
So it's called Betty Booze.
Okay.
And it's a sparkling bourbon with peach honey mint. So it's a mixed cocktail. The ABV is 4.5.
Okay.
Can you see it? Yeah, 4.5.
4.5. Yeah,
4.5. Okay. So this is the first one I'm going to try. Fingers crossed. See, I don't smell them like you do. I dive right in. Oh.
You smell second.
Well, normally I don't smell at all, but I was like, oh, you can taste the mint. You can slightly taste the bourbon. Mm-hmm. There's just like that smoky flavor, like on the back end. It's not strong at all. I don't think I taste the peach though, which is why I grabbed this one because it was peach. I definitely taste the bourbon and I definitely taste the mint. It's not, is it carbonated? I don't think it's carbonated. It's nice. It's refreshing. It's like, it would be a great summer cocktail, like sitting out in the backyard, sun's going down. Like, it's great. I wish it was more carbonated. Yeah. If it's carbonated, it's very lightly carbonated, but I honestly can't tell. Now, this next one, I've had this brand. I tried it for the first time on the podcast and I loved it. This is a different variety of that same brand. So it's a big guy also.
Oh, so the San Juan Seltzer.
It's San Juan Seltzer. Oh. And it's a white peach.
Which one did you try? Was it the rosé?
Yes, which was delicious.
Okay.
Oh, it was actually this one. I still have
the peach rosé. Okay.
Yeah, the peach rosé. So it's the same brand, but this one it's it's 8.4. So not crazy. 0 sugar, 0 carbs. So if people care about that. Okay, so weird. It doesn't fit in my tall boy. It'll still keep it cold though. That was weird. The first drink. Hold on. You know how like a peach pit has like kind of a dirt flavor? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what the taste I'm getting. Kind of a nutty, woodsy, kind of earthy flavor.
Is it carbonated?
It is carbonated. This is the second white peach drink that I've had. The other one was this one.
Yeah, and you said you couldn't really tell why it was white versus
anyways,
peach.
Yeah, but this one is like that one where there's a definite difference. It doesn't taste peachy, and that other one didn't taste peachy. So white peaches maybe aren't as peachy as this one's, I mean, again, I'll drink it, but that rosé one way better than this.
Okay.
So yeah, this one, the Boozy Betty,
it's pretty good.
That one's good. And I'm not, or Betty Booze. I'm not normally a bourbon drinker.
Can you tell that it's like a bourbon whiskey?
You can, but it's very, very like you can, bourbon kind of has that smoky flavor. You can taste that. So you can tell that it's some sort of like whiskey, bourbon, scotch kind of alcohol in it, but it's not overpowering. It's very mild. So out of these two, which funny because seltzers are normally my go-to, I actually like the Betty Booze better than the seltzer. San Juan, in general, I loved their other seltzers. This one, not my favorite.
Okay. I think that, for me, I think I'd like this one, this hard Arizona. I think I wish I wouldn't have tried it after I tried the Malibu cocktail because it's just so different. This thing.
Yeah. That just, the can looks good. It looks good. Like looking at the can, you're like, that's going to taste delicious.
It's good. I mean, it would be really good to maybe dress it up with some ice and some fresh fruit or something. I think that by the pool, let's just go all the way.
So our next record, I have another new drink that that will be over ice.
Okay. This one said serve it over ice or chilled in the can. So I kind of wonder if it'd be better at over ice. I just didn't have any.
Okay. So, well, that's okay. So, speaking of the last podcast and Char clearly not handling too high ABV drinks very well. Per usual, I need to go back and make some corrections on some things that I may have said. So the first one on the trivia, there was a question about family ties.
Yes.
The last name. What was their last name?
It was Keaton.
And we were trying to remember the dad, and we said Michael Keaton. I said it, you agreed. I don't know. But it came up Michael Keaton.
Is that not right?
No. Michael Keaton would be the man who played Batman.
Oh, Michael Keaton. Oh, yeah. Mr. Mom.
Right.
Okay.
So the dad's name in real life is Michael Gross.
Oh, okay.
But on the show, it was Stephen Keaton, not Michael. So his name was Stephen. The dad was Stephen. Do we need to fact check my fact checks?
No, I don't think so. But what about...
No, I Googled the Family Ties cast, and it had their real name and their show name. I made notes.
What was Michael J. Fox's name on the show?
Oh, I looked it up and I forget now. Okay, well, the sister
was Valerie. I remember you saying that last time.
Yes, and I was wrong. It was it was Mallory. Mall.
That sounds right. Mallory.
It was not Valerie. It was Mallory. Okay, here, wait. I'm gonna Google Family Ties cast again real quick. Here we go. So Justine Bateman was Mallory. Meredith Baxter was the mom, and her name was Elise. And Michael J. Fox was Alex.
Alex Keaton. Okay.
Yeah. And then the dad, Michael Gross, was Stephen Keaton. Tina Yothers. We all remember Tina Yothers. She was Jennifer Keaton, the little sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the dad was Stephen and not Michael, and the sister was Mallory, not Valerie.
You were close, though. It totally rhymed.
I was close. Also, I was talking about me and the girls had taken a trip out to the sleepy little beach town that we love to go to.
Yes.
And
Did you lie again?
I did. Totally. Two things. First of all, which this doesn't matter and nobody would notice or care. But it was Saturday night that we were at the little bar, not Friday night. And we all did not do a solo. Only Nika and I did a solo. And Michelle and I did a duet.
Okay.
So again, more lies. Lies. Well, it's funny too, because I was listening to the last podcast at work, and I remember thinking to myself, I always say I need to take notes when I'm watching it because I remember stuff afterwards, after the fact. This podcast, I watch stuff that I don't remember. I'm like, I don't remember talking about that. It was more towards the end of the podcast.
That would be because of this.
That would be because of these, which,
it happens.
We're here for a good time.
That's true.
One of the other things that I remembered, this isn't those were the only things that I think I had to go back and make a correction on. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But one of the other things that I remembered when we were listening, so we hit our last podcast, we were talking about camp, that we used to go to church camp and Girl Scout camp. And one of the things that we were talking about, the midnight hike, like that was always the highlight with do you remember? I totally remember this as I was listening back. The boys would come and serenade us. Remember, they would come in and serenade us.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Which I don't know, did we ever go? I think we serenaded them also, but they would come and serenade us, and that's when we would leave to go on the hike.
That sounds, I remember that.
Right?
Yes. I don't know if we ever serenaded them, but how cool.
Yeah. And funny, when I was listening back, I was like, oh, I should have talked about one of the times I had to get stitches. And then I'm listening, I'm like, oh, we did. One of the many times I've had stitches was because of church camp, me climbing up on the shower head thing. We didn't really get to talk a lot about Girl Scout camp. You were really trying to be done with the podcast, and I really did not want to end it. You're like, Shar, it's time to wrap it up.
Over an hour.
Wrap up time. I'm like, no, I got more to say. This is fun. But it's only because, first of all, anytime you and I get to spend time together, even though it's virtual, like, yes. And we enjoy every second of it, and I don't ever want it to end. But also because we were having such a good time. I was having so much fun. Like, I kind of forgot we were doing a podcast. It was just me and you sitting around being dorks. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of that, we never stop talking. So this comes very natural to us because ever since we were little and we'd hang out, we never stopped talking. So we wanted to talk a little bit today about things that we used to do that we don't do anymore. Yeah.
Camp is one. Adults don't do camp. I mean, I think there's like fat camps. I that's probably not the proper way to say it. That
doesn't sound like a fun camp, though.
I know,
because they're going to make you lose weight and not eat anything.
But so if you think about it, vacation is kind of our adult camp now, right?
Because you go somewhere. You go with your family, not.
This is true.
Sometimes you'll go with a friend, but it's not.
Yeah. Do they have adult camps? Like where you can just sign up and like go to an adult camp?
I don't know, but maybe we need to make one.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea. Like, just like when we were kids, you have to you're in a cabin and you have to, your cabin has to do a skit every night, or boys will come and serenade and you do a midnight
drink.
Hike. Oh yeah. There would be no midnight hike if we were drinking.
Why not?
Because that would be dangerous. I know, but it's midnight. You're walking through the woods and rocks and, dirt roads.
And also with adults.
To get to a lake.
With adults, are you going to be like, okay, time to go to bed? They're like, I'm an adult. I'm going to do what I want, right?
Yeah. You would only have activities every other day because You would drink so much and then probably be
hangover
hungover.
day, and
Yep.
then
And then activity day. Do you remember also, I mean, not to go back to camp, but we always did activities. That's what you would do during the day. I mean, there would be like lessons and, you were learning also about the Bible and what have you, but there were also activities. Like you had talked about making bracelets, like that was one of the activities. So there was always
and
activities
there was
that you could
sports,
do.
like you'd play
Yeah.
baseball and stuff, or softball, whatever.
Yep. We played softball and yeah. So
And
adult
the
camp would be
swimming.
great. And the swimming, of course. Not co-ed swimming.
Right.
Because
No,
there's
and
heavy
there
petting.
was no heavy petting. No co-ed bathing.
Right. So camp is something that we did as kids that we don't do it as adults.
Oh, also, but talking all the time, like,
yeah.
So Shar and I, when we were junior high, even high school, like, I mean, we're talking nonstop all the time. If somebody needs to go to the bathroom, like, you're going with,
Oh yeah.
like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay, well, I'll come with you and I'll sit on the toilet or on the tub while you're going to the bathroom. Yeah. I mean, if you're like, oh, I have to take a shower. Oh, okay, I'll take a shower too. Yep. It's just like, now I don't know if people would be like, "Ew, that's weird," because they have to make everything about sex and gender and sexual and whatever. It's like,
yeah.
It was never like that. It's just we never stopped talking, and so it's just whatever.
That absolutely is something that you don't do now. Like if you were here visiting me, I'm like, oh, I gotta pee. You're not gonna be like, oh, I'll come with you. But like if I jump in the shower, like I will encourage you to hang out in the bathroom with me while I'm in the shower so we can keep talking.
Still visiting. Yeah.
And then as I'm getting ready, like hang out with me while I'm getting ready. Like that's
absolutely.
Still, absolutely.
Always.
But we don't necessarily like you said sit on the tub. I absolutely. That's exactly what you did. You'd go to the bathroom together. One would sit on the tub while the other one. And it doesn't matter if you're doing number 1 or number 2. You still win.
Yeah.
You still went and kept on with your conversation, and it was not weird. And showering together was not weird. We would do that all the time. Just
it
probably
wasn't weird.
Also to save time. Like
right. Well, and we can't stop talking.
Right. Yeah.
We have to keep talking. So
100%.
Yeah.
Something else I was thinking about that, we used to do as kids that we don't do now. Slumber parties.
And those were so fun. Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw a meme like on social media, whatever, and somebody posted it and they're like, why don't we do this? And I'm like, I would totally be on board. They're like, okay, just listen, a party bus for adults, but instead of like going to bars, like you go to like craft stores or thrift stores and then like you drink on the bus or something. I'm like, yes, I would be 100% for that.
Okay.
Yep.
I like to think that I could craft and I have all these great ideas and then I'm like, yeah, no. As a matter of fact, one of the times that we were visiting, probably, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we had went to a craft store and I bought a bunch of the yarn to make the bracelets. The where you tie like 4 rows of knots.
Yes.
Yeah, I literally just found it in a drawer.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm like, I'm not even exaggerating. It was like last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I just threw it away. I was like, I'm never going to make a bracelet. Maybe if you were here and we were hanging out, like watching a show and you're like, hey, want to make bracelets? Yeah, let's do it. Then I would do it. But on my own, I'm not going to make bracelets. It was a great idea. But
do you remember hooking them with a safety pin to your jeans?
Oh,
and then you would do the.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the best.
So at camp, you were talking about we would do the plastic,
those weird keychain things or whatever.
And so a few years ago, we went camping with some of our friends up at Mount Hood, and it's kind of like an adult camp, actually.
I was just gonna say that's kind of like a slumber party.
It was definitely like a camp because during the day they would do activities, and it's a camping area that has, like basketball courts and a pool and a little clubhouse, just like camp.
Yeah.
So it's a camping. It's one of the what you pay to be a member of it.
Okay.
But during the day they were making those bracelets. The plastic with the 4 and you do like, and
funny.
make, yeah, they were doing those. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
Adult camp.
Yeah, adult camp. That was one of them. I forgot where I was going with that, but you were talking about, we might have to cut these pauses out.
Yeah, I could do that. 25 minutes in. So things that we used to do that we don't do anymore. So we've talked about slumber parties, we've talked about camp, which I think would be really fun. But, if we do like a girls trip, like I know you do a girls trip with some of your girlfriends. I mean, that's kind of like a annual slumber party
that
almost.
is absolutely like a slumber party, and especially because usually you end up you're sharing a bed with somebody else. So,
True.
you know, if there's enough girls that go, a few of you are sharing a bed. So it very much is like a slumber party. Absolutely. Girls trips are very much like a slumber party.
I think the sucky thing about being an adult though and having, that is most of you are like married or whatever.
Yeah,
So you're not getting to talk about the boys that you have a crush on or whatever, It's
yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
I got my husband or whatever.
Yeah. We just complain about them the whole time.
Right. So not as interesting.
Not really. I know that it's funny because that's what, so when you're in your 20s and you have, a girls' weekend, the guys are like, ooh, 90s and pillow fights and, ooh. It's like, yeah, not even what it's like. And then when you get older, they're like, you guys are just sitting around talking about us the whole time complaining. It's like, not really. I mean, not real. Like, that's part of the girls' trip is to just kind of, just talk about girl stuff.
Right.
It's like, we do love you. And, we might talk about, our husbands, but it's not like, that's not why we go on girls' trips. But it's funny because that's the perception for them. Like, in your 20s, it's pillow fights. And then, when you're married and in your 40s and 50s, they're like, you guys are just complaining about us all day.
Maybe just a little.
Well, what are you doing that would give us cause to have to complain about you?
Exactly.
Okay. So one of the other things that we would do as children that we don't do now. So camp, obviously, slumber parties, sleepovers. You don't really do those. I know it's very similar to a slumber party. Slumber party is multiple girls. A sleepover is usually just the one girl.
True. Yeah. Okay.
Which, I mean, there have been times where I came to visit you and it was a slumber party because I would just sleep in the bed with you.
Oh yeah, because again, we're talking and talking and talking until we just fall asleep or whatever.
Yeah, or if you were here. But one of the other things that we used to do as kids, which I don't know if everybody did this, maybe we did it because we lived in Northern California and you could, but in the summertime, often we would just sleep out in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
So either with your siblings or if you had if you came over, hey, let's sleep in the backyard. And you would just take your sleeping bag and a pillow, and we didn't have a trampoline to sleep on to keep us out of the grass. So we would sleep in the grass and then wake up soaking wet.
Yep, from the dew.
But that's something that we don't do anymore either. Why don't we ever just sleep out in the backyard?
I would say because of all the creeper shows that we watch, and there's creepers that want to kidnap us, I think.
That is true. Well, for one, we're adults, and I can tell you right now that my stiff shoulder and my bad hip and my knee, it's not going to handle sleeping out
on the ground.
True. That's not happening.
True.
But yeah, you're right. There were probably it would probably be, I'm sure parents nowadays would never consider just letting their kids sleep out in the backyard just because
and we used to sleep with our windows open too.
All the time. Absolutely.
They just take the screen off and come on in. Mind blown now, but
yeah, that doesn't happen. Too much crime. And it might have been happening back then, but we didn't have social media like we do now.
Right. Well, and we know it was happening because of all the serial killers in the 70s and stuff now we know about.
Yeah,
of course true. It was happening.
This is true.
Actually that reminds me when I first moved to Oklahoma. So I know
what story you're going to tell.
when I was
the first time you slept with your window open?
Yes.
Yep.
So when I was in California, you just at night in the summer, you'd open the windows because it would cool off outside, and so it would let some cool air in. And then in the morning, before you left, you'd close all the windows, close the blinds, so it would, try to stay cool in there, so you didn't have to use the AC so much. So, being a 20-something-year-old, and I moved to Oklahoma, I did what I was taught. So I opened the windows at night when it was in the summer, and I woke up and I touched the blankets and they were wet, and I'm like, I'm looking up for a leak or something. I was like, and then you kind of question yourself, like, is it damp, or am I just I don't know, thinking something weird? I'm like, I don't see a leak, so I don't know. So I get out and I step on the carpet and it also feels damp, and I'm like, what? It was just the humidity, which we didn't have humidity in Northern California like that. So no more sleeping with the windows open.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. One of the very first times I came to visit you out in Oklahoma, I remember the guest room had that super comfortable. It was a twin bed, but it was super. Remember that bed?
Yeah, I do.
My God. I never wanted to get out of it. It was so comfortable. Anyways, I remember I was sleeping so sound and so comfortably. And all of a sudden I woke up and I was like, I smell blueberry pancakes, like blueberry waffles or blueberry pancakes or something. I was like,
yeah.
So I get up and I come into the living room and you're eating bread and butter and cheese.
That sounds like me.
And I'm like, did you make blueberry pancakes? And you're like, oh yeah, they're just in the kitchen. Go get, and you thought I was kidding and I thought you were serious. There were no blueberry pancakes. And I'm like, wait, and you're like, wait, what? I was kidding. What do you, blueberries?
What was it?
It was a candle that you had bought. There was firefighters that were going door to door to for a fundraiser, and they were selling candles, and you bought one of the candles and it was blueberry pie or something like that. And I woke up smelling blueberry pancakes.
Was I burning a candle?
Yeah. You had just lit the candle. Okay. You woke up and lit the candle, and that wafted into my room. And I woke up to what I thought was blueberry pancakes. And then you're like, oh yeah, I made blueberry pancakes. They're in the kitchen. Go get them, sarcastically. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, wait, where are they? You're like, wait, I was kidding. Do you remember that?
No,
that was way before you had kiddos.
Yeah, that was when we first moved here in that rental house. So.
Yep.
That's funny. Yeah. That sounds like something I'd do.
Yeah, but it was especially funny that you're eating bread and butter, and then I believed that there were blueberry pancakes.
Yeah. Why would you blueberry pancakes? But yeah, I'm just eating this.
So you don't remember the story, but take a stab at the bread, butter, and cheese you were eating. What was the butter?
Oh, Brummel and Brown.
And what type of bread?
Probably French bread.
And what kind of cheese?
Probably mozzarella.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I'd eat now, too. Hey, speaking of pancakes, we went and saw Shrek 2 at that fan fest last week. And I won.
Yep.
I won the trivia, by the way, because they get people out of the audience. And I'm always like, pick me. Because they only pick 3. And so your chances are 1 in 3 of winning. So anyway, I won. But I won it. I won a Shrek waffle maker, and it actually has his
Shrek's face
on.
I see it. I see it. No, yeah. You held it up close enough. I could see it.
I mean, they're just going to be little. I haven't made them yet, but so I won this waffle maker and 2 movie tickets.
So, was this Shrek one that you went to? Was that from the free tickets from when you won the Christmas light thing?
I don't remember.
Okay.
So we go to so many, and they're not that expensive. So I try to save these tickets for when it's going to be a new movie, but we never want to watch any new movies hardly. The last new movie we went and saw was the Deadpool Wolverine one.
I did finally see that, by the way.
I liked it. I mean, I liked the first Deadpool better, but it was definitely cool. But anyway, we end up just watching the old movies. So.
Oh, okay. Speaking of new movies, did you watch the new Beetlejuice? No, sorry. not that one. Joker.
No.
Last weekend, Isaiah and I just like binged a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
And one of them was the new Joker movie. You haven't seen that one with Lady Gaga?
No, was it good?
Do you like musicals?
I mean,
then don't watch it. It 100% was a freaking musical. I'm like, no, the Joker is this crazy, like, like,
so what? He's singing?
Yes, singing. Like, the whole movie was just a musical. He's like this maniacal, crazy, like, no, like he was in love and everything was a song and dance. We ended up turning it off.
Oh,
which
I'll have to.
I'm not completely opposed to musicals.
Right.
But watching one as a movie, I'm not. I would rather go to a live performance like
that would
Wicked
be fun, yeah.
or actually I'm going to be seeing Hamilton in a few weeks. And I've seen Wicked, and so like I will go and watch a musical. You know,
I mean, I like
not
Grease.
all of them.
Grease is a musical.
Yeah, Grease
and Wizard of Oz. I liked that one too.
Well,
it's a musical.
Yeah.
But they're older ones. I don't know if I like new ones. I'm not sure.
It was especially weird because that you saw the first one. The Joker is like, and then he's singing and it was just, I did not, again, we turned it off. I was so.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. So, speaking of criminals, I just watched a new docuseries.
Is it the Fox Hill Murders? Or Fox Hollow?
Fox Hollow, yes.
Okay.
We should talk about this. Now, again, let's just put it out there. We are not professionals. Right. We are not trying to solve a murder. We are simply...
Although we really want to, but...
Although I would really love to, but...
We're amateurs we're old and whatever else we are.
We're old, talentless amateurs.
Talentless.
We're just two best friends who want to converse about something we just watched. And we're both addicted to crime.
True crime.
So my husband is out of town right now.
Yeah.
He has been for the last 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I have done nothing.
Have you been binging?
But binge watching true crime docuseries.
Yes.
There's something wrong with me, but I cannot turn them off. That's all I've been doing. I did manage to get a couple loads of laundry done, and I did get the floors mopped. Aside from that, I've been eating peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Just so that I could...
dishes. That's perfect.
Exactly. Paper plates.
Okay. So yes. Fox Hollow Murders is on Hulu, right? Hulu?
Yes.
Or
yes.
Hulu.
Yes. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
So go ahead and give an overview of... Yes. And then we'll discuss.
So those of you who don't want to listen about true crime, you can just stop listening now and come back in, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. For the trivia. So Crime Junkies, which is a podcast with Ashley Flowers and Britt, which is one of our favorites that we listen to all the time. They are from Indiana. And this case was one of their very first ones that they did on their podcast because they felt like it was in their, quote, backyard. And this one, I found that a lot of people that I talked to about it, they've never heard about this case at all.
I hadn't either.
Yeah, her Baumeister. So in the 90s in Indiana, someone was picking up gay men from a gay
bar
district area in like downtown, was it Indianapolis? It was a big area. And they were coming up missing, which, they interviewed in this documentary that we watched, they interviewed a lot of people and, they said, I mean, yes, this person would come into the bar a lot and then all of a sudden they would be gone. And they didn't really, it's not something that they'd notify the authorities.
They thought they were dying of AIDS.
They thought they were dying of AIDS, or a lot of them, would give an alias because back in the 90s, it really was not okay yet to be gay out in the open. And so some of these men, they may have been married to a woman and had a family and they were not out of the closet. And so they might come in and say their name is so-and-so and it's completely an alias. Yeah. And so even if they were to say this person's missing, they don't even know who they really are or where they're from.
Yeah.
So So, but yeah, a lot of them thought, they might have died from AIDS because that was a big thing back then that was happening. And so they just didn't know. And it wasn't someone that was reported missing. So, some of them came missing. Well, they finally got a tip. Well, actually, they didn't even know this was happening until they got the tip, quite frankly. The cops got a tip from someone. They came forward and said, oh, I went, this guy picked me up at a bar and took me to his house, which was quite a drive into this, very rich area it was a big farm. And he was very, very weird with me. You'll need to watch the documentary. I'm not going to go into details, but super weird stuff. And
super weird.
and but he got away. And so then the more he talks about it, you almost wonder, well, how are you the only person that got away? So anyway, that led the police to go investigate the property, and they found a ton of bones.
Human remains.
Human remains, like 10,000 bones, which,
bones or fragments.
Fragments, yeah. So, they were suspecting 20 to 50 people or something that were out here. Well, in the meantime, his wife, the guy whose property, her Baumeister, they were in the middle of a divorce. And so she's like, yeah, you can go ahead and search the property. And he was not there. And so that's when they started finding these bones. And they didn't go and arrest him or anything.
They didn't even know where he was. Nobody even thought, hey, where is this guy? Nobody put surveillance on him or nothing. After this guy goes into the police station and says, hey, I had this crazy experience happen, they never went and put eyes on the guy who's Herb.
Yeah, Herb. And then, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to give away the whole thing about the documentary, but.
Well, we're going to talk about it. So if you don't want a spoiler alert, again, you can just fast forward.
That's true.
Yeah.
So the guy, Herb, he ends up being found dead. He's apparently shot himself. He left a note, a suicide note. However, there was nothing about any of these murders or any of these bones that have been found on his property. It was like, well, our business wasn't doing very well and yada, yada, like nothing about that at all. And so all these years pass. Oh, and so then the police actually stop investigating. They don't try to identify any of the remains because back then they probably are like, well, it was gay guys. Who cares? Or, because that's the way a lot of people acted that way back then. And so they just stopped investigating. They're like, oh, well, I guess he did it.
He's dead.
He's dead. So I guess we're done. So they start investigating. And the people in this documentary, they go and interview the guy that gave that testimony that started the whole investigation. So just so everyone knows, when you watch the documentary, that guy is Char's boyfriend.
I got a text from you. What's his name again? Do you remember his name?
No.
Let me check my messages.
His name is Char's boyfriend. Anyway.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm going to find his name.
He's the creepiest looking guy I have seen in a long time. So he looks very, very scary and creepy. And then he starts talking, and it's 100 times worse. This guy, he had to have something to do with the whole thing. I don't know, whether he lured the guys in for Herb to kill, or if they were a team. I don't know, but
Mark Goodyear.
You
said Mark Goodyear is your boyfriend.
Yes, I called it. See, that's something from a long time ago. So whoever says it first, it wins. So it's Char's boyfriend. She can't try to give him to me.
No,
so it's hers.
He's mine. This was way before marry him, kill him, F him.
Oh, yeah, that we know. Yeah,
this was way before then. That's your boyfriend.
That's your boyfriend. Yep.
So Mark Goodyear is the sole survivor, apparently, of Herb Baumeister.
All these people never got away, but he somehow got away. And his story, and you guys got to watch this documentary. His story about like, oh, I got this bad feeling, like there was like he was going to kill me, and so he didn't like try
He
to
never
leave.
ran. Yeah, he never
stayed
ran.
the night.
He stayed the night and kept going back.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't, I don't think he ever really admits that they had a relationship, because he tried to say that Herb Baumeister was stalking him. So he had to continue to kind of see him.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
First of all, Mark Goodyear, he is crazy. His laugh, the look in his eye, he's kind of funny too. But he says a lot of creepy stuff. Like, yeah. He says a lot of, I feel like he's wanting to get caught. Like, he's saying enough that they could dig in and find something, but not outright admitting to anything. Yeah. Like, he wants to get caught. Because there were a couple times, like one specifically, when he went back to the house and they were walking through it, and one of the people that were interviewing him asked him a question. He said, "I'm not going to answer that. I'm not looking to get 25 to life, or I don't want," basically admitting.
Right. What are you going to say that would give you that?
Right. So Mark Goodyear, I think 100% was involved. I think that he was I think that him and Herb were luring, because also Herb was rich and he had a big home. It had an indoor pool, which was a whole nother creepy thing with all the mannequins around the pool. There was a bar, like in the basement, there was like a whole bar set up. So he had like he had material things, monetary things to lure people with. Yeah. I think that Mark helped him lure people to his house. And then I think they both were like probably drugging people, doing horrible things, and then killing them. I think that Mark was right there with Herb. But then why wouldn't Herb, he killed himself and he laid everything out in a letter. And he had left a letter behind a picture.
And they never found it.
And they never found it. So maybe that was the letter that was implicating. I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like if he killed himself and left a letter, he would have just admitted to everything. He wasn't going to be there anymore. He was dead.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if the other guy might have
killed him. Mark killed him.
Yeah.
Which I thought about that too. Like, could Mark had been the one to stage it? And again, Herb, now they know that he's a homosexual, that he's married, has kids, but that's his secret. I don't know which one would be his secret life. Well, I guess secret would be the gay life, but that was who he truly was. The wife and kids was a facade because it wasn't acceptable to be gay. But I don't.
Well, I thought it was weird. So I just tried to think of myself, if I was innocent, if this thing happened, if I was that guy and that.
Wait, which guy? If you were that guy?
Mark Goodman. Okay. If I was Mark him Goodman, and this horribly creepy thing did happen to me in this house. Mm-hmm. And then I find out that, that guy killed all these people and all these people were killed on these grounds and stuff. If I went back to that house, the way he acted in the documentary.
Way too comfortable, right?
Right.
Way too comfortable.
I would just feel, I feel like I would feel like, oh my God, I'm so lucky that I made it out. And I feel so bad for all these people that this happened to here. Mm-hmm. He never said anything like that. I mean, and he, like you said, he kept coming back.
So 2 things about that. So first, there was somebody who also got away from the house that was able to give their account of what happened. And it was the night that somebody was wearing like this weird costume, like a cape and a head.
Yeah.
And he said that there was another person there, and he was tied to a chair and being held by somebody else. And then somebody came out of the house with a shotgun that was dressed in a costume, a cape and a hat. And he took it off and said, surprise. And it was Herb Baumeister. And then he shot the person in the chair with the shotgun. And Mark Goodyear was holding that person. The person that witnessed this got away, and they're the ones that are telling the detectives this whole account. So
how would you hold someone that's going to get shot by a shotgun?
I don't know. I questioned that also. Like, you can't stand behind them because you're going to get shot too. And if it's a shotgun, there's buckshot. Like, you're probably, so I don't know about that. But
right. Obviously, there's something fishy about the whole thing.
Right. But I do believe the guy that got away and gave this, because this is his account of he knew, like, there was no way he would have known the house and Herb and like all of this stuff unless he was there. He was able to give like all of these exact details that you wouldn't have been able to give unless you were there. So that's the first thing. So that implicates Herb and Mark. I think they were both there and they were both in on it. But the second thing that I was gonna, I forget what the second point. Dang it. I don't remember. I should have written it down.
The guy that's investigating with the handlebar mustache, he needs to, I want to hire him for anything because he seems like, okay, they need to put him on it.
Right.
They didn't put him, I feel like he would get it.
But he gave, so the documentarian guy, docutarian?
What?
The guy that was doing the document. Documentary.
I don't know if I've ever heard that word. So
docutarian? I think it's I think I'm right. I think it's a docutarian.
I would love you to be right. I'm going to listen.
So the guy that was interviewing him went to that detective and said, what should I, and the detective was like, this is what I would ask him. This is what I'd say. I would ask this and this and this and establish this and then hit him with this.
Yeah, exactly. So you were close.
Okay.
You said a docutarian, but it's a documentarian.
Oh, so, documentarian. Okay.
So, never heard of it called that, but okay.
Documentarian.
Documentarian makes sense.
So, that guy had the chance to interview him because the handlebar mustache detective, he was like, God, I would love to be able to talk to him, but he's not going to talk to me.
We want to also, but he would only talk to those, not that they're amateurs, but they're not, investigative detectives or anything. I think, weren't they really just there for like, weren't they paranormal?
Yes.
Were they?
Okay. Yes. So the first set of people, they were paranormal people that were able to do an interview with him, and she believed him. She didn't think.
Wasn't she kind of creeped out by him too because he kept texting her?
I think after the fact. So after there was something that came to light. It was a note or a letter, something, and they showed it to her. And that's when she realized that he absolutely was involved with this also. And she
oh yeah, she was super creeped out. I don't remember exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, he was lying to me the whole effing time. Like, yeah.
So yeah, people, you guys need to go watch that documentary.
It was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now at 54 minutes, I think did you have anything else to say about that?
I have so much to say, but we can move on.
So it is my turn to do trivia, and I have done almost an entire one. You know how there's however many stacks in there?
There's 8.
I flipped this over, so I've done this many for you.
There's 8
and I have
of
this
these.
many left in this one pack.
Okay. Well, the last ones you gave me were freaking hard. They were hard.
Okay, we're going to do 10.
10? Okay. 10's the limit.
Okay, pick a card. Any card.
That one.
This one right here?
That one. Yeah, that one.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. I will just say that in 6th grade, I had a crush on a boy that had these. Okay, that's just a little hint.
Assless chaps?
No,
Oh.
that must have been your boyfriend.
Braces?
Okay. No. Okay. What type of nylon pants, known for their baggy fit, tapered leg, and multiple pockets and zippers, became a staple in breakdancing culture?
What did they call those pants? They were called parachute pants.
I mouthed it to you, but you weren't looking.
Oh!
Ding, ding, ding. You got it right. Yep. I remember Jason M. in 6th grade had parachute pants and
We're off to a good
butt.
start.
He was so cute. Okay.
Wait, I remember him.
No, because he went to the other school, unless I showed him to you.
Wait, he went to West Valley, right?
No, he went to the one I went to.
But then he was there. Yeah, but he was there in 7th and 8th grade.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so cute. Okay, anyway. Okay. I don't know.
Great.
The Hands Across America event in 1986 aimed to raise awareness and funds to combat which issue?
Hunger, starving children.
Yeah. Hunger and homelessness.
Oh, I didn't know homelessness.
But you got the hunger.
Yep,
okay,
yep.
Ding, ding.
So far, I'm 2 for 2. I'm feeling great.
So, I don't remember this.
Okay.
What animal-shaped fruit snack by Betty Crocker had the tagline of, quote, "You've got to eat them before they eat you," end quote. So, animal-shaped fruit snacks.
Were they the dinosaur ones?
No.
Oh. Teddy Grahams?
No. Fruit snacks.
Oh, fruit. Yeah, you said
like
that.
Little gummies.
Yeah. Got it.
It's something I'm very scared of.
Frogs?
Mm-mm. I used to have dreams about them. Like they'd be I'd be not in a pool, but I'd be walking by a pool and they'd be swimming in there. And I was afraid I was going to fall in. Yeah. Shark bites.
Okay.
I don't remember that tagline.
I don't remember that tagline. I know what shark bites are.
I remember when shark bites came out.
Oh, so. Yeah. I don't remember the tagline either, though. Okay.
Oh, I think you'll get this for sure. In the Hanna-Barbera cartoon universe, what was the primary color of Huckleberry Hound's fur?
Purple. No, blue.
Yep.
Blue. Yeah, blue.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well, I was thinking Dino.
Oh, from Flintstones.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you remember in Flintstones when they'd open the cupboards beneath their sink, they had a pig down there that was the garbage disposal?
Oh, yeah.
That was always so funny.
Okay, so just real quick. Because we always say, do you remember? I thought we should have named the podcast Remember When.
I know.
You're kind of against it.
No, I'm not against it. I just, because sometimes we talk about other stuff like this true crime. That way we're not set on one thing. So people can let us know what they think.
I think Remember When with Cindytha. Oh, by the way, have you received a package from me?
Oh, I did. Thank you.
Who was it addressed to?
Did it say Cindytha?
Yes, you didn't notice that?
No, I just opened it. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
I did. Okay. This one, I'm not even sure if I'd get it, and this is one of my favorite movies, and
Sandlot?
No, I've never even seen that whole thing.
Karate Kid?
No.
Dumb and Dumber?
That I know everything about it.
Okay.
In Pretty Woman.
Oh yeah, I do like that movie.
What was the name of the businessman played by Richard Gere? I mean, of course, when I read the answer, I'm like,
did they ever say his name?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What was his name? Wait, I know his name. I know his name. I know it. It was because she was his niece and
his niece.
Just give me the initials.
E.L.
Edward. What was the last name though? It was definitely Edward.
Yes, that's correct.
Edward. What was his last name? I don't remember the last name.
Lewis.
I don't know that I ever would have gotten Lewis, but I definitely knew Edward.
I mean, he didn't. Yeah. I don't know if I just know that off the top of my head. Oh. Okay, I would totally know this one because I loved this show, and I don't know if you did, but I loved it. I thought it was the funniest show ever.
Okay.
And I think it only had a couple seasons. What 80s sitcom starred Tom Hanks?
Mm-hmm. Booze and Buddies.
Yes.
I loved that show.
Okay, let me finish the question for everybody else.
About you know what's funny? So back then, not okay to be gay, which they weren't.
And also not okay to cross dress.
Not okay. Yeah, but they were two men that had to dress like two women to be able to rent an apartment.
Yeah, because it was for women, and so it was like maybe lower income, or it was.
Yeah, but funny that it's okay that two women could live together, but not two men.
Well, it's because the whole apartment building was for just women. It was for women that needed, and they definitely weren't gay women. It was almost women who just needed whatever, like they needed a place to live. But let me finish the question for all the people who are wondering.
Sorry.
I'm so glad you got it though, because I loved that show. Which I know that it's like okay now for guys to dress like girls and whatever, but back then it was not socially acceptable, and so when they did it, it was really funny actually. Which 80s sitcom?
White chicks.
Oh, it was so bad. Which 80s sitcom starred Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari as two young men who disguised themselves as women to live in an affordable, female-only apartment building? And the answer was Bosom Buddies. Oh,
so I didn't remember that it was like a low-income type thing for women. I didn't know that. I knew that it was women only, and that's why they had to dress like women.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And then,
that was funny.
And then Tom Hanks had a crush on that pretty blonde.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, all the situations were just so silly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This one you're going to get to. I know you are.
I am so happy that I'm getting some easy ones today. It's making me feel SMRT.
Yes. You might get all three of these, actually.
Nice.
Which 90s music video by LL Cool J was set in a boxing ring?
I'm gonna knock you out. Yeah.
Mama said knock you out. Yep, that's the one. He was so cute. He is still really attractive.
You know what LL Cool J stands for?
No.
Ladies Love Cool James.
I did not know that. Nice trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Some trivia on trivia. That one I'm positive. 100%. 100%.
I know you're going to get this one too.
Okay.
Which musician released the album Jagged Little Pill in 1995?
Oh, Alanis Morissette.
Ding, ding, ding. That is right.
That is one of the songs that I would... So I'm not really a karaoke person. I am the person that sits in the back and just sings along with you while you're doing karaoke.
Okay.
Every now and then I will get up there, but there's only a couple songs that I can actually do. One of them being Ice Ice Baby, and I rock that. Let me tell you.
I bet you do.
I have literally
We've been practicing since the 90s.
Yes, early 90s. I have actually had VJs come to me. What are they called? KJs. KJs come to me and say, will you come back and do that again? Because it brings the house down. But Ice Ice Baby is one that I go to. Alanis Morissette, what's the title of that song? The one that's about Dave Coulier that you didn't think it was, and
ought to know. You ought to know. I don't know what it's called though.
Yeah, ought to know. Yeah. So that one I would love to do someday at, karaoke, but I definitely don't have the pikes for it. It's just a song that I think is cool, and I would love to sing it at karaoke.
Well, I think it would be great.
It would be fun.
Okay, Shar, this one, I think you're going to get, I feel like when this band came out, I didn't really love this band. I feel like I was a little bit too old. I mean, I wasn't old because it was 1988, but anyway, we'll see if you get it.
Okay.
Which group released the album Hangin' Tough in 1988?
Oh, New Kids on the Block.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You got it.
I was a huge NKTOB. Wait,
I was
Kids
not.
on the Block. Yeah, NKOTB. I was a huge NKOTB fan.
I was not.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't.
So
I was a huge fan of Marky Mark, though, and the Funky Bunch.
Remember the Calvin Klein
I
underwear?
Absolutely do. Why else would I be a fan of him?
I still am a huge fan of Mark Wahlberg. If he's does a movie,
yes.
I absolutely will watch it.
He's always awesome.
I love him. But New Kids on the Block, that was like my one and only boy band. New boy bands like NSYNC and what's the other one? NSYNC and there's two. They came out at the same time.
I don't know.
What's the other boy band? NSYNC's rival. It's the other boy band. Anyways, I've never really watched. I've never really listened to either one of them.
Mm-mm.
What? Backstreet Boys.
Oh, that's right.
So Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, not a fan. Now, when Justin Timberlake, I don't remember which one he was in. He was in one of those boy bands. When he went independent, I remember actually one time you were staying with me. You were here visiting. And I was like, I don't know. I kind of like Justin Timberlake because of his Saturday Night Lights. Saturday Night live. Yeah. Yes. And so we started watching some of them and you're like, okay, that is really funny. He is kind of cool. And so then you kind of started liking Justin Timberlake too after that point. But I do. I never was into boy bands after NKOTB.
Okay. Yeah, I just remember Donnie never got into
Donnie Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg was not in
No,
New Kids on the Block.
He wasn't. His brother Donnie Wahlberg was, and I don't remember.
I don't remember
Jordan Knight. I don't remember all the other ones. Anyways, was that the last question?
That was it.
I thought I had two more.
Nope, that was all of them.
I think I just saw.
You want me to give you one more?
Yeah, I think I just saw a fruit fly. Yep, I see a fruit fly. I think it's...
Okay, one last
or
trivia.
A mosquito. Okay.
Which magician made the Statue of Liberty disappear in a widely publicized television special in the 80s?
Okay, there's only two 80s. There's only one, David Copperfield.
Ding, ding, ding. You're right.
Okay.
Process of elimination.
Because if it was later than that, it would be Blaine. David Blaine.
But he was like 2000s, right? I mean, he was a lot later.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay.
All right, B2. This was a good one.
I think we need to do more true crime.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, the people should comment. We need people to comment. We need them to like, share.
I've had a lot of people say, like, oh, I watched that one. They watched the John Bonet one. And so obviously that piqued their interest. So maybe we do need to.
They need to let us know. They need to let us know by commenting, liking, but especially commenting. Because, listen, I have binged true crime for the last 4 days. And as soon as we're done here, I'm going to go binge some more true crime.
Yeah. I'm watching the Lacey Peterson one right now.
Oh, I've already watched that one. You know what's funny?
It's a new one. It's a brand new one.
Wait, another one?
Yes.
I've watched like 2 or 3 already.
It's another new one.
So what was the other one? There was another one that you told me, oh my gosh, have you watched this? And I'm like, oh yeah, I already watched it. But I watched a different one than
Gabby
you watched.
Petito.
Yes. That was another one, like, oh my God, that, like, but the one that I watched was a different one than what you watched.
Right.
Because there's so many of them.
I know. And I think they all give a little bit of info.
The Lacey Peterson one. So
I'm not done yet. I'm only halfway.
Okay. Well, I mean, but you know what happened.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I don't doubt for a second who did that. Although the way that they do these, see, that's the thing too. It depends on who's doing the documentary.
Right.
It was just like what we talked about with John Bonet. They give you information in a way that makes you think one way or the other. Mm-hmm. Like they're very tricky with the way that they're giving this information.
They lead you. But, they lead you exactly how 100%. They want you.
Anyways, okay, I can tell you want to go. I'm not going to hold you up this time.
No. I wanted Chris to try this before it's gone because this coconut pina colada one. This one I still got quite a bit, but this one.
So I did this one first.
Yeah,
and it's probably a little less than half. So I just decided to switch to this one because this one I wanted to do this one because it didn't taste as good. So I was like, I'll do this one, get it out of the way, and then go to this one. But now I'm like, I don't want to be drunk or full. Right. So I'm just switching
and now
to this
I think we're going to go to Mexican food. So I'm going to, of course, have to have a Mexican beer. So
a michelada or?
No, I'm going to have they call it here in Oklahoma, they call it sloppy. With the lime and the salt around the frozen goblet is sloppy. I'm going to have a sloppy Pacifico.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It is. Whenever you come out, we'll have to go because it's...
Wait, is it a place that you've already taken me to? Because a frosted goblet sounds very familiar at a Mexican restaurant. Oh, okay.
So, it's
Have
good.
I not? Well, what's the name of the place? Say it. Plug them. Maybe
I don't want to say it because what if a creeper comes and wants to meet me there?
Well, it won't be within the next hour. This isn't going to broadcast for another 2 weeks.
But we go there a lot. The chances of them finding me there are pretty good.
Okay. We won't.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah, text it to me.
Okay, I will. All right, me too. Well, that was a good one.
Yeah, as
Until
always.
Next time.
Oh, wait, let me get both of mine. Okay.
Cheers.